this video, I'm going to be showing you a little bit more about how you can do calculations within spreadsheets. And in particular, I'm going to introduce you to how you can use a very useful bit of Excel notation, which is the dollar sign, which we use to fix cells within calculations. It will become more transparent what I mean by that when I actually go through the example. And the example that I'm going to be showing you is how we calculate the percentage of the total carbon emissions in all 15 countries that's attributable to each country. So I'm going to start off by inserting a column. So I keep all my carbon dioxide data together here. And so this column is going to be the percentage of total CO2 emissions. Very simple calculation. I just want to divide each of the individual country CO2 emissions by the total CO2 emission multiplied by 100. So I start off with typing my formula. So go for equals. So you actually just put a plus in there. You can also indicate a formula, but with the plus sign. So plus or equals, I've been teaching equals, so I'll try and stick with equals. And so the formula is very simple. It's cell C2. That's the carbon dioxide emissions for Kenya divided by the total emissions. And that's in all 15 countries. And that's indicated by the number in C18. C18. And I multiply it by 100. And that gives me the percentage. So we can see that Kenya is only responsible for 0.23% of the total emissions in all 15 countries. Now I have a bit of a problem. When I copy and paste that, I'm only going to do this into the next row to show you why it doesn't work. As you can see, that hasn't worked. I've got division 0, which basically is telling me that what I'm doing is a calculation by 0. And the problem is that when it goes to row 3, it's updated the C3, which is what I want it to do. I now want it to calculate C3, but it's also updated the C18. So rather than dividing C3 by C18, it's dividing C3 by C19. So it's not working. So that's not going to work. I can't simply copy and paste. Now you might think all I need to do is just type in this number 7761580. That is one way of doing it. But again, I want to show you how you can actually get Excel to do this, so we can just use cell references rather than having to type out figures. Very simple. This is where the dollar sign comes into play. If I insert a dollar sign before that number there, in between C and 18, that's telling Excel not to update that number, okay? You can actually put the dollar before the C as well. That would also tell Excel not to update the C. Sometimes you need to put the dollars in both places if you're doing really complicated calculations that vary by row and column. But at the moment, we're just doing this calculation within the C column, so we don't have to worry about that. So if I just put my dollar sign in here, it's telling Excel to keep that cell reference fixed. So again, press on enter. Doesn't make any difference. It's exactly the same calculation. But this time, when I copy and paste and fill that all the way down, you can see that it's worked. That's C18. You can see that in each of the formula, the country cell is going up each time, but the total population cell is staying fixed.